Hey, how's it going, folks? My name's Matthew, aka EZBOT. Today we're going to be talking about some sound design and workflow techniques for some chiller compositions. I feel like it's a good time to make some music that feels good in the heat, and also we could just use some feel-good tunes in general. More melodic stuff is kind of my specialty anyway, or at least that's how I view myself. So I want to talk about a couple of techniques. The devices that we will be working on today is the Digitac 2 and the Digatone 2. I do also have my modular system. If we want to grab some of that stuff later, we will. I have an example of something that we're going to kind of recreate. This is something I worked on in a private lesson, and I liked where we got to in the end, and so I'm going to share it with you now. Chill vibes. We're at 94 BPM here. Okay, so just listening to this composition, there's a couple of pieces in here that I think are important to point out. Now this sound, it's a pluck. It sounds like a bass guitar, and I was like, okay, well, the answer is actually the comb filter. But that's where we're gonna start today, is emulating a bass guitar using the comb filter. And this isn't a tough technique, you just need to know where to look. I'm gonna go to a blank track. Oof. That is a chunky kick. And we're gonna start with this bass line. I usually put my basses on 1 and 9. I'll make duplicates of the same sound. That way I can switch between them in a performance state or even a compositional state if I'm maybe using song mode. Let's jump into this bass sound. So we wanna go into FM drum, and we wanna change our filter to a comb filter negative. That's just the one that I like to use. So with the FM drum, we're actually gonna ignore the FM synthesis of it. What we want is the transient, and the transient is so sick. With the comb filter negative plus the transient from the FM drum, you can really get these massive guitar bass plucks. And all we have is this click. And honestly, we don't even want this noise. So we use our transient. We're gonna set it at about 50% because we don't need too much. Go over to our filter section. This low pass filter is a big part of it because we're not going to use the envelope generator. We're just going to hold down function, turn the E encoder, and get our feedback frequency. We want that like right in the middle. Now we got to turn this feedback up. There we go. So we're already in a spot that's pretty useful. Okay, so where the magic comes in here is actually this low pass filter. We can just turn it all the way down so it's just totally low pass. So this is our slope. It's kind of emulating a bit of our decay envelope here. Oh look, we're already there. This is what's so magic about this. I love this technique. It's so simple, it's so quick, is that you can use the transient now. And this is just loaded with sounds. What do we got? This is just little tiny samples that are in the Digatone 2 to use as transient for drum sounds. You send them into the comb filter and they make different kinds of plucks. So here we are at 0. I mean, it's fantastic. It's like going through a wavetable almost. I found the ones I really like are at close to the beginning. There's a nice bass sound. Bam! And we can make it more plucky by controlling our envelope generator in our amp section. And there we go. So I'm gonna put down just a quick 4 on the floor kick, just as a metronome at this point. It's just gonna kind of float us along. We want our plucks to be not on the kicks. We want them to be kind of like playing with the kick, bouncing back and forth with the kick. Maybe we do 2, 3, we do 7, we do 11. We don't need that many notes. We want this to be able to repeat for long periods of time and just go on and on and on. And we're gonna kind of just build layers on top of it. So the bass line, we can have trig conditions, we can have probability that maybe affects this bass line so that it changes and evolves, but we don't need to have too many notes involved in it. And it totally works. But let's mess with these notes a bit. I want this to be a little bit more minor. This is sounding a little too cheerful. There we go. Now we can put a nice C minor chord behind this, maybe a C minor 7, have it kind of undulate underneath it at the same pace as the kick. Go straight to page 2 and start turning up your modulation levels. It's not crazy. Like, why would you go to any other engine when you can do this in 2 seconds? Wayo. Not making dubstep today, that's for sure. So when you find something that you like, when you're turning your hand, playing with this is what you should be doing, in my opinion. Go straight over to your modulator and think, all right, harmonics, mod, let's get harmonics. Just a little bit. Now it's doing what I just did with my hand. There's definitely some tones in here. We are gonna be making like a pad. But if we filter it, maybe not so much. We also don't need the low end, so let's get rid of that. Ooh, it's got a nice top end to it. Ooh, well, I really like that. Let's just go ahead and program that. We can jump in between our chords by holding function, hitting left and right. So we can kind of audition them. There we go. There's a little cheesy sounding. They're definitely FM sounding. Sounds like a DX7 xylophone patch. And we could try using wavetone. Heavily filtered. Some vibrato on it. So oscillator tune to all. Maybe we want this to like undulate with the kick since these pads are so long. It sounds good. Just bring the volume down a little bit on that higher note since it's so prominent. Oof. There we go, nice and subtle in the background. Let's get like a hat or shaker type sound. Let's just throw the hat down. I think there's already a decent sounding hat in here. Just fill these 16th notes with some reverb. Let's edit this verb, make sure it's nice and big. And the delay. Record play and record some of this. Now we got that in there. Get an off hat. Put this a little bit on the right, maybe put these hats a little on the left. Next turnaround of the pattern, a noise sweep will decay. Not a noise sweep that builds, but a noise sweep that decays out. So like a shh, 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 shh type sound. Noise cassette is the one that I think sounds the most like just a white noise. That's noise cassette. So what we could do is use this multi-mode filter, because we want our filter to do this sound. We want it to go shh. The way we're gonna do that is with a positive envelope, and then we wanna give it some good reverb. Nice long release. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go function, filter, we're gonna go into our compressor routing, and the way we're gonna use the compressor on both the Digitact and the Digatone today, you make a sidechain bus group. These devices let you do that now. And so what you do is you just turn off every track that's going into it. We want to use our kick drum as our modulation source for the sidechain, so we don't want to include that, but we do want to include our noise. And then we want to go into our compressor. So we're not gonna use the compressor to compress. We're literally gonna use it to duck. I'm gonna turn the makeup gain all the way down because we're not trying to bring any volumes up. That sounds nice. Well, that's really moody. Right now we're gonna put in an arpeggio, and let's just get a preset. This will copy just the notes and we'll copy the sound. We're gonna have the delay speed of the Digatone 2 and the delay speed of the Digitact be different delay speeds so that we can have two different types of delays, and that's a cool idea, I think. I wanna hear like do 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 do. I think we need to like add a little bit more drum sounds here. I want to hear some toms or something. Toms, 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 toms. Oh, sounds like it worked. Now we can like edit these notes on this arpeggio to have them be a little different than the chord progression, because it's a little obnoxious having them be the exact same sounds. Playing with those chords, nice change of pace there. You can see the bass player doing this groove. You know what I'm talking about? Bass is up high, hand like this, chin back. You know what I'm talking about. Just loop page 2 real quick. Maybe add like a note of probability here. Maybe a high note, how about that? There we go. The last thing I wanted to do was I wanted to add like a chord or something. Oh, that's pretty. I think we did all the things I said I wanted to do. I wanted to cover making this like plucky bass. Sounded like a more of an acoustic instrument. We got that covered. I wanted to have chords on the Digitact and on the Digatone. We did that. We got our pad. Come on in, pad. We sidechained it to a percussive sound. We got our noise sweep that happens every 8 bars. It doesn't sweep up, it sweeps down. That sounds nice. And it gets triggered by a sidechain bus in our Digitact. We used a good amount of tracks. And we got our arpeggio. It's following the same chord progression as our pads with a couple of notes altered. Just to add some nuance and something a little bit more unique. Octatrack Performance Mixer doing his thing. Alright folks, my name's Matthew, aka EZBOT. This has been a tutorial on sound design and workflow techniques using the Digitac and Digatone together to make some more chill melodic music. If you want to support this channel, you can visit patreon.com/EZBOT. You can get my performance templates among a bunch of other rewards. You can join the Discord. There'll be links for that in the comment section down below. I invite you. It's public and free, and lots of great people in there, and lots of great tips and tricks, and a healthy marketplace as well.